Hey, this is how you can counter a strong drag hook in arm wrestling. The drag hook is an inside movement that relies mainly on your wrist flexion, biceps, and side pressure. Based on these strengths, we're going to go over different techniques and see how they would work against the drag hook. Starting from the press. Any kind of press is not going to work well against the drag hook because a press requires you to give away your cup, while a drag hooker is going to be giving away his pronation. So he's going to be going in the opposite direction of yours. The reason you won't be able to force him to pronate is because you're using your wrist extension, which is a much weaker movement for a presser, against one of his main strengths, which is his supination. So you won't be able to get into a pressing position and you will most likely lose the match. The second technique is the traditional hook. The hook can work great against the drag hook. That is because the biggest weakness of the drag hook is actually the side pressure. No matter how strong the drag hooker gets his side pressure, he won't be able to apply as much strength because he is using this part of his hand. If his opponent is using this part of his hand, which has much more area, his opponent's side pressure is going to be higher than his. So in a traditional hook, against the drag hook, it will be much easier for you to commit your shoulder before your opponent does, and the drag hook doesn't require as much shoulder commitment. So as a hook player, you will be able to get in an ideal position where you can maximally apply power and maximize your chances of winning the match. The last is any outside movement such as the traditional top roll, the posting top roll, or the king's move. Now these can actually work great against the drag hook. The drag hook involves giving away your pronation. You can prevent your opponent from giving away his pronation and getting into a strong position by using your wrist extension. Instead of taking that pronation, we're going to follow one of the rules of arm wrestling, which is don't take what is being given by your opponent. So if he is giving away his pronation, you actually want to go in the opposite direction. So you want to extend your wrist like this, forcing him to pronate. This will put him in a weaker position, and as a top roller, this is going to be a much better position for you to attack their cup, attack their hand and arm, because they're relying on their back pressure when their arm is not supinated. When it is neutral, they're applying strength through their back pressure, which is not going to be as strong as their biceps. So their arm will be weaker and their hand is going to be weaker. This will put you in a good position to win the match.